This is a quick demo showing KMCP, which is a new tool designed to help you quickly stand up MCP servers and MCP services. I'm making a distinction because MCP services are remotely accessible MCP servers, taking into account things like authentication, authorization, and tenancy and governance and that kind of stuff. So KMCP, come here and take a look at the help screen. Allows you to quickly stand up MCP servers, like I said. So we will do MCP init. We'll create a hello world MCP server. There's only one framework showing here, but when this releases, it should support TypeScript and Golang also. So go check it out. We will put our name here. Um, and we will give, so now it'll give us our project. So if we go into the Hello World MCP project and then UV-sync, since this is a Python project, this will create our virtual environment here. And if we run it, we should see a standard in MCP server very quickly stood up here with Python. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at the project and what it has, what KMCP has put together for us here. If we take a quick look at the project, we see the structure, the project structure, including things like the tools, MCP tools that you can expose and fill in. These are stubs, and the core server is here. If we wanted to add a new tool, we could use the add tool command, KMCP add tool, and we'll add some tool called help tool. And if we take a look at our project here, we see this new help tool has been created. Now, KMCP can also help. So like I said, so far we have the standard in MCP server, but it can also help in deploying it, so building it as a container and deploying it into a Kubernetes environment and standing it up as a remote MCP server or an MCP service. So to do that, let's start off by building our project here. And while it builds, since it's a Python project, it might take a little bit, but while it builds, why don't we take a look at our Kubernetes cluster? We see we do have a couple of workloads running. No MCP servers yet, but we'll get there. We see the Docker image has been created. So if I do take a look at the latest images, we see just a few moments ago that this was created. So now what we want to do is deploy this into our Kubernetes cluster, MCP deploy. And what this should do is create the manifests and descriptors needed to deploy this into Kubernetes. And if we take a closer look, we'll see that it creates this new custom resource called an MCP server. And if we take a look at this Hello World MCP server, we can take a look. It's a fairly simple custom resource that just specifies how to run it and how to expose it, and that this is a standard in transport. Now, when we actually run it, if we take a look here, we see our MCP server running here in Kubernetes now. If we actually take a look at it, if we look at the pod itself, what KMCP did under the covers is actually run this project with an agent gateway. And the agent gateway in this case is the open source. If I bring up a agent gateway.dev, is an open source project written in Rust dedicated to AI use cases, but specifically for things like A to A and MCP. So what this does is it exposes our MCP server as an MCP service remotely, And then from here, we can build security policies and tracing policies, metrics collection and logging for the MCP server automatically because the agent gateway provides that for us. So if that's the case, then I should be able to connect. So I'll set up a port forward here to 3000 where the agent gateway exposes this on this port, this MCP service. I should be able to then come over here, the MCP inspector. We'll give that a second. That is from here. And we'll connect up to it as a streamable HTTP running on port 3000. That looks right. So if I click connect, we should see we could make a connection to the MCP service. If I look at the tools and list the tools, I can see the tools that were created and the tools that I added, and I can execute this as a remote call to the MCP server. So there's a lot more that we can do, including things like authentication authorization, like I mentioned. Stay tuned for future videos where I go into a little bit more detail about how this can be secured. Thanks.